Rosie's so far away from me. Hello, chat. Welcome. Hi, Abaddon. Hi, Rosie.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm okay.
That's good. Me too.
Yay!
Yippee! Hello, welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm sorry I haven't streamed in a century. That's what it feels like, at least. Yeah, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. You have the sniffles? Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. Okay, I'm ready to actually play this game now. Oh, wow.
I'm so close to you.
You are. Our faces are clipping. That's really funny.
Since when did you get a hat that's the size of peeing? Since when?
I've had it for a long time.
It's very good.
It's really funny. All right. Yeah, let's do some fishing.
Fishing.
Fishing. What do I need to catch? Lake fish. Okay, let's go catch some lake fish. Fish.
Fish.
I'm just gonna go over here.
Yeah, I need a lot of lake fish, so I'll just join you for that.
Okay. Picnic.
Bench.
The game is very quiet still. Hold on.
Yeah, like for me too, I thought, is my volume off?
That's better. Oh, my buddies. Yeah, also, today is a very special day. Today is my 4 years of streaming anniversary. That's so many years.
Yay! I was about to say, that sounds old.
I am old. I'm a VTuber elder. Okay. But yeah, it's 4 years. I am very excited. Here's hoping on many more. Thank you, Moose Vinyl. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. We are fishing. Totally not Mouse Rangers on a different account. Oh, I see. I see how it is.
Hi, Mouse.
Hi, Mouse. Welcome. Oh, God. Okay. I forgot how to play this game.
That is very fair. Especially considering that you're at... Actually, I was about to say level 100. That's Spirit City. Never mind.
Yeah. No, I'm like... Oh, I just saw it. I think it said 48.
That's still a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fishing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
I remember you being so excited about that. About you reaching 100 in Spirit City. You were like,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah. I'm such a pro gamer. The hardest game, Spirit City.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I was putting lip balm on and I
It just
caught a
means
fish.
you work a lot.
True, I do leave it open a lot. Oh, big.
Whoa.
I have a lot of to-do lists in it, so I just like keep it open a lot to remind me of what I need to do, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hardcore gamers, yeah, totally. Who needs insert popular hard game here? I don't know. Doom the Dark Ages? I don't know. Who needs Doom? I
Who
play...
needs Elden Ring?
Yeah, Elden Ring, exactly.
Who needs
Oh,
Elden Ring when we have web fishing?
exactly. This is my kind of game right here. And it really is, honestly.
Hard or it's your game?
Pardon?
It being hard or it's your game?
Yes. Both.
Okay.
Brotato slaps pretty hard. I have no idea what that is. I assume it's like a potato that's a bro. I don't know.
Potato.
Potato. Goofy little wave shooter where you play as a potato fighting aliens. That's wild.
Oh, I want to play that. I want to be a potato.
Do it. Rosie Potato Arc. It's roguelike. Oh. That's not my kind of game.
I'm just imagining me with potato, and then I have my hair, and then I have my flowers.
Yeah. It's like $5. That's not bad.
What's roguelike?
I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like, oh god, there's a big fish. I can compare it to other games, but I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I think Hades is a roguelike.
Oh, I've heard of that before.
It is? Okay, that's like the only game I can think of.
Okay.
I've never played it. I would suck at it. Binding of Isaac. Roguelike means you start from scratch with every run. Okay, okay.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now, because I have seen that game before.
Yeah. With some upgrades? Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like Stardew Valley, like the shooting game.
Like the arcade game?
Uh-huh. The cowboy
I think
game.
so, yeah. I think so. Roguelite means that you start every run from scratch but can unlock persistent upgrades. Okay. I didn't know there's a difference, honestly. Oh, I need to fix something real quick. There we go. Okay.
Oh, my cat is in the windowsill.
Oh. It's based on an old game called Rogue. I see. I do not know it.
I see his belly fur. That's all I see.
Oh. Gibby. Oh, I wish I had more coffee.
Ooh, coffee.
Hmm.
I don't know why I said that. I don't like coffee.
More for me.
I will give you all the coffee.
Yay.
Yay!
The ancient days of 1980. Real.
Smile.
The olden days.
Smile.
Yay, fishing.
Smile, nervous sweats.
Pardon?
Smile, nervous sweats.
Oh no.
I don't know when 19, whatever number it was, is.
1980?
Something like that.
Something like that. The days of yore only spoken of in long forgotten scripture. It's true. Real. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I'm so sleepy. No worries, Abaddon. You take care, friend. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, good luck. Good luck, good luck.
Bye, Amazon.
Bye-bye. Oh. Sorry, I'm so sore today.
You're okay. You can't see it, but I'm patting my mouse on your I love pissing hat.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay. Ayo. Yeah, look at my hat. Oh, zoom in too far. You can't, oh god.
It's
You can't
beautiful.
really read it, but it says I heart peeing. Oh no, a fish. I think Rosie's hat says WcDonald's.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh,
I like how they really wanted to include the restaurant, but they're like, we don't want to get copyrighted. So
yeah.
they turned it upside down.
Perfect.
For some reason, whenever I think of that, it's like, Wumbo.
I wumbo. You wumbo. He, she, they wumbo.
I'm glad you get it.
I do.
I make such weird SpongeBob references sometimes.
That's okay. Well, we were perfectly in sync.
What?
Our characters pulled out fish at like exactly the same time.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I just noticed it started raining.
Yeah. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Are you
Real.
feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? I can beat the annoying children.
Oh, I love SpongeBob.
Yes. But specifically the older episodes, though.
Yeah, I don't know any of the new stuff.
I kind of do, but I stopped watching it because it was kind of just like, I don't know.
Not as good.
Like in the older episodes there was the close zoom-ins
Yeah.
and they were like actually funny.
Yeah.
They do that, except it's like some kind of gross thing.
Oh.
So part of me is like, I don't want to see that anymore.
That's fair, yeah. I will be back. I completed a quest and I want money.
Okay.
Classic SpongeBob is peak. True.
Mm.
Yay,
And also
$200.
they just have better writing in general,
Yeah.
the older episodes.
Alright, let me go see if I can buy anything.
Okay.
Hello. Did I just buy some? Oh no, I thought I accidentally bought something. Oh, I'm like $25 short of what I want to buy.
No.
Guess I gotta go catch
Did
like one
did you
fish.
sell your fish?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
If only there was like a Stardew thing where like you can give money to another player.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It started going downhill after Steven Hillenberg's death. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, but I was like, I probably shouldn't.
No, that's fair, yeah. It's very sad.
Yeah. And then also they have spin-offs too. I don't know if you know that.
I think I
There's like
did hear about that.
there's like from what I know, there's like at least 2 different ones.
Huh.
And they're
Not good.
don't watch them.
Fair.
One is literally just Patrick. It's all Patrick.
Just
And
Patrick.
new episode and based like since the newer episodes became a thing, he's just really annoying.
Oh no.
And he's just really he does really stupid things and it's just like why would you ever do that?
Man. That sucks.
And then if I remember right, there's another one where it's like they have like a camp or something.
Yeah, I think that's the one I've heard of. I've not
That makes
seen it.
sense. I haven't seen much of it either. Um yeah, I really don't remember any of it. I just know that I think SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy are kids possibly.
Oh.
That's pretty much all I know.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. I'm sorry, we've been having like a 5-minute rant on this.
That's okay.
This is like special interest.
No worries.
It stopped raining.
Whoa.
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 Weather.
Crazy how, like, weather happens.
I know, right?
How does it work?
I just realized something fun that they could do is like during the winter they can make it all snowy. That would be really fun.
Ooh, that would be fun. Like Animal
And then
Crossing?
like mm-hmm. And then instead of rain they put snow.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see if they will do any updates and like change things. I'm curious.
Have they any recent updates? Do you know?
I think the most recent update was like changing how invitations and stuff work because of the people that were like hacking or whatever.
Oh, right. I remember that.
Weather happens
I'm glad it
because of
was
the weather
fixed.
wizards. Yeah. I'm glad it was fixed too. I'm dancing. Oh boy. A friend is asking to join.
Ooh.
Come in. We groovin', we groovin'. Welcome, Iris. I don't know if you can hear me, but welcome. Hi. I hope you're doing well, friend. Welcome to my party. My fishing party. I don't know.
It's okay. comfy.
Yes. Doing all right? How's everyone? I'm doing okay. I'm very tired today, but I'm having fun. How is everyone doing?
I'm staring at my cat.
Oh,
He's still beneath, or not beneath, behind the curtain.
aw,
And all I see is just a little part of his tail.
hiding.
Yeah. I wonder if he fell asleep there, because he's been there for a while.
Aw, silly. Eepy kitty.
Hmm. Iris!
Rosie. Are we gonna go harass her?
I am going to. Iris?
Bruh. Are you seriously drawing loss in my fucking
What is happening?
bro? You know what? Go into the tree. She drew a meme.
I'm ready.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot I have the wrong glove.
get its ass. Not lost, I know. Honestly fair, yeah. Oh. Let me make some art. Oh! I've seen some people make like crazy good art in web fishing. I don't understand how.
Yeah,
Oh, cute.
I haven't seen that.
That shit's wild, isn't it? I saw someone make like crazy mouth-washing fan art and I'm like, what? How did you do that? Okay, let me sell some stuff. And now I should have enough to buy the bait upgrade. 5d6 psychic damage, yeah. Ow. There we go. Someone is mowing the lawn right now.
I like how you said that. I'm hearing like a some kind of motor.
Can you hear it over my mic?
No, it was where I live.
Oh. You don't hear it? Okay, good. Oh, cute.
Flower. What is this? Oh,
Oh, what are you doing now? Are you erasing loss? Gone. No evidence of my crimes, except on the VOD. Have you considered that? Shit. Alright, I'm going back to fishing.
oh, it's a little fishy.
Fishy.
I'm looking at my little like ace shirt because I bought it because yeah,
Oh yeah.
and there's a fish on it.
Yeah. I think I have the
Yeah.
trans shirt. It has the trans fish. Trans fish. Trans fish.
Yeah.
Starts chanting.
Diamond.
Ooh.
I didn't know they had diamonds in this game.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what crimes Iris is up to over there. Ooh.
Is there any customization things I can get? Oh, that's kind of scary, but I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Oh, hi. I tabbed out for a second and then Iris was there. You want to sit on my blankie with me? Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me reel this in and then I'll scooch.
And then the rest of it I can just
There we go.
update.
Wow. Hi, Dana. Welcome on in, friend. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Congrats on the 4 years. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Oh, hi, Rosie.
I'm just gonna...
Hi. I can scooch over again.
Look at my big eyes. Look at my big eyes.
What you doing with them big ol' eyes? Yeah, thank you, Dano. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. It's been so long since I've streamed. I got really sick, so I could not stream for a while. But I'm feeling better. Hoping to be able to stream more this week. Oh my god, someone is mowing the lawn right outside my window. I'm gonna mute for a second, oh my god.
Okay. Hi, Iris. Oh, I don't have any bait. Oh. Hi, chat. I don't know if you guys can hear bots right now. Hi, chat.
Okay, it should be better now, sorry.
You're good.
My wife is getting up to close the window. Oh no, it's stuck. Thank you. Oh, of course they just stopped. Oh, okay. Matcha became small for a sec. I probably looked down like this or something. Sometimes my VTube studio freaks out.
How do I check my tackle box again? What key is that?
B, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, now my room stinks like grass. I am allergic to grass.
No way, same.
Oh yeah. No.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Weed time? No, it's not the fun kind. What was I gonna say? I don't know, I just feel like itchy now. Ooh. I don't know how long I'll stream for today because I'm very tired, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll go for like at least an hour. Oh no, yeah, it's okay. Valid, hell yeah.
Very valid.
Yippee. Oh, Iris got a big fish. Big ol' muskie. Nice.
I almost said that I saw it in my side view mirror, but I'm like, I'm not driving. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Oh, my eyes are watering now. Ugh.
No.
The allergies.
Allergies suck. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh. I missed streaming. I had to stop for like 2 weeks. I think it was over 2 weeks that I didn't stream. I was just so sick.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better though.
I'm glad too. I had like a fever for a bit and that sucked really bad.
Yeah.
And it was like hot outside too, so I like thought I was gonna die.
Oh, that's so much worse.
It was horrible. Oh, it's raining.
I got scared for a second because immediately as like the rod appeared, it like turned dark, and I'm like, what did I just cause?
Your personal rain cloud? Hell yeah. Oh, I'm craving coffee. Oh, hi, Pomni. I don't know why that redeem is so laggy. Sorry?
I finally have big fish.
Yay, big fish.
Big fish. Anyway, Pomni.
Pomni showed up and slammed the door in my face. How rude.
How dare she?
Yeah. Some of my redeems are like so laggy, and then I test them off stream and they're fine. And I'm like, bruh.
Is it like buffering?
It's like freezing.
Oh.
I don't know. It's weird. I think I might have to like turn off a bunch of redeems because they just don't work very well. OBS might be lagging out Mix It Up. Oh, for sure. My Mix It Up is so weird.
Mm.
Do you use Mix It Up, Rosie?
I used to, when I was streaming on Twitch. I stopped once I started on YouTube. I know you can technically use it on YouTube. Like, I kind of want to wait.
That's fair. I find it very helpful, but it is quirky.
What the heck? Sorry, I'm very upset. I'm very upset right now.
Oh no. Oh my god. Alligator.
I would like to let everyone know that my strength power is like 7 and they expected me to get through like a 50 click gate.
You did it though.
I did.
Hell yeah.
But actually kind of scared me for a second because I was like, what do you mean 50?
Yeah. Whoa, alligator. See you later, alligator. I don't know. Big ones for me tend to be 500 plus.
500 plus?
Yeah, I get some that are over 1,000.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh!
Iris caught a gator too.
Smooth.
Now it's my turn.
Imagine you have like a strength, like your rod has just like a strength of 4 and you have to get through like 500 plus.
God. Yeah, this one's 500 and then 449. And I just cleared both. Because my strength is like almost 100, I think.
I need to do so much better at upgrading.
Yeah, that's fair. Your click power is 125? Oof. That's a lot.
I think mine is like 7 or something.
Rosie's gotta make that bread.
It's true.
You've maxed it out? I haven't gotten there yet. Not quite yet. Ooh. Maxed out most, if not all of my upgrades, I think. Might just be the pets left. The pets?
Pets? Oh, do you mean like the cans?
Oh, the buddies? I see. I was like, there's pets in this game? I got so excited.
I wish.
That would be so awesome. You could have like
I
a
need cat.
Club Penguin Puffle. Did you ever play Club Penguin, Rosie? Oh no.
No.
Oh no. That's okay. Iris, have you
That's
played
why
Club
I didn't-
Penguin?
That's why I didn't say anything, because I was like, I don't know what to say to that, because I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. I'm so old. You don't think I... Oh, no. Despair. That's okay. Dano gets me. Hey. You were a Neopets girly? That's fair. I played a bit of Neopets. My thing was Webkins, though.
Smile, nervous sweats.
If you're old, I'm old. Let's be old together, Dano. Yeah, Webkins was my thing. And Animal Jam.
I at least heard of the Animal Jam.
Hell yeah. Oh shit. Alright, who
I think
wants
it's
it?
right over there too. It's like exactly
Oh yeah, it's right over there.
across from us. Yeah.
Anyone want it?
How much leveling up does it do?
I'm not sure. You should go
I'm
for
trying
it.
so hard to level up.
Go for it.
Okay.
I always wanted to play Animal Jam, but never did. I think you can now. I think it's still up. Let's start a Warriors clan in Animal Jam. Because people did that, even though you can't be cats.
Why are you
What?
barrier again?
Oh, you got it. Nice. That's a big one.
I did. Oh, I leveled up. Yay! That was worth it.
Nice. I remember when I played Animal Jam, people would make like clans, like in Warrior Cats. I don't know, like you couldn't like actually make it. You would just like say like, hey, I'm part of this clan, join my clan. And then they would like make you change your fur color to like match them. And so there was like a bunch of us wolves with like black and red fur, and we were like, I don't know, some emo clan. If that's not the most
Emo.
like 2010 thing ever. Considered playing, oh shit, hold on. EVE Online, then my common sense reasserted itself. I'm not sure what that one is.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
I remember like a year or two ago, I did a Webkins stream.
You did.
That was
I
fun.
remember that.
That was funny. Space
That's like
game?
that's like the only experience I've had of, I forget what the name is called.
Webkins?
That. Thank you.
That's fair. It was my childhood. EVE Online is space capitalism with flowcharts and literal in-universe player-run corporations. That sounds like a nightmare. I'm into like easy children's MMOs.
I was about to say, like, you just said a bunch of words in my face. I don't understand any of them.
I like those MMOs where you either play as an animal or take care of an animal. Like Moshi Monsters 2, does anyone remember that one? No? That's okay.
Just silent.
It got shut down, and I tried to like play this version of it that's like a fan-made recreation, and they're like, you have to like make an account and then they'll like verify you and send you an email. And this was like last year and I still haven't heard back from them.
No.
So I think I got scammed. I didn't have to pay money, but like now I'm gonna get a bunch of weird ads, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
Dano's heard of it and never played it. That's okay. Moose says, I remember the ads but never played it. That's fair. It was fun. I liked them. I was obsessed with the little creatures that you could get, like by planting specific things in your garden. That was awesome. I miss the 2010s.
Oh, what's like the one game with like the green monster? No, that's it. That was my childhood game.
Oh my god, you got another big gator.
It's true.
What was
very
your
big.
What was your childhood game?
It was called Omnom.
I've never heard of it.
What was it called? What? Cut the Rope.
Oh, Cut the Rope. Yeah, I do know that one.
And then there was like Fruit Ninja, and then there was
Classic.
what else did I used to play?
Just played Maple Story for a bit, which I just found out is on Steam. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Singing Monsters or whatever it's called. I forget.
Oh yeah, that one was great. Rosie iPad baby confirmed. Me too, though.
Look! It's not my fault that I was given an iPad at like age 3.
Oh god. It'd be like that sometimes. I got an iPad when I was way too young, and I played so much Minecraft on it.
They can play Minecraft on the iPad?
Yeah.
Oh. I wonder how bad that is.
It's not great. There were iPads when you were 3. Well, maybe.
I don't know. Probably.
Not me. When I was 3, it was... Oh no. Wait, hold on. It was 2002 when I was 3. Oh god. I don't think we had iPads back then. Yeah, we had sticks and rocks. When I was 3, we were playing hoop and stick in the old I don't know, on the cobblestone streets. Y2K was the year I turned 3. I thought I turned 3 in 2001, and I was about to say uh-oh, but then I'm like, no, it was 2002.
I'm dating myself.
It's okay, me too. That was my first day of kindergarten. Oh no. When I was 3, yeah, uh-oh. Oh no.
When did iPads actually come out?
We're so old. That's okay. November
I am
2002.
so old.
I was fresh out of the womb. Nice. Welcome to the world.
And you're 2025, I was born. No.
Oh no. Bans, Rosie. Because you're not.
No.
You're a child. No, you're not. Rosie is an adult. I can confirm.
It is true.
I've seen her ID. I'm just kidding. I have not.
Let's see. When like I'm shouting into my web search.
All caps? I do that all the time.
When did iPads come out? First iPad was released in April 3rd, 2010.
Oh my god.
Yup.
I only hit caps locks by accident when going for a tab. I always, when I'm in Clip Studio Paint, I use all caps for my layer names because it's easier for me to see. And then if I'm in Clip Studio, I have caps lock on. And then and then I have to like Google something about Clip Studio Paint and it's in all caps and it's like, Clip Studio Paint, how do I do this? I was probably making potions in my backyard in a bucket with mud and other miscellaneous garden things. That's so real.
I would like to correct that since it was 2010, I was not 3. I thought it came out a lot sooner.
That's
than
okay.
2010. I thought it was like for some reason 2000 just stuck in my brain.
Yeah, it could have been an iPod Touch.
Maybe.
Maybe your hands were really small.
I could also just not remembering like the actual like dates, right?
That's
How
okay.
old I was, right?
Rosie is not an actual baby. No, she isn't.
I may be small, but I'm not young.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Well, okay, I am young, but
Yeah, sell all this crap.
in my
See if
brain
I
I'm
can
just
buy-
like, Rosie, lying to yourself, you are young.
I don't have the money for anything. That's okay. No worries, Iris. Thanks for being here.
Bye, Iris.
You take care, friend. Thanks for hanging out. Ad break starting soon. Good luck, chat. Thank you, Iris. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. We will have fun. Oh, there she goes.
She poofed.
She poofed. Ooh. Virus, yeah. Have a good lurk, friend.
Hi, Kitty.
Kitty?
He finally came out of the windowsill
Aw,
and he's slowly making it to me.
that's so cute.
You know what? No, I know you didn't want to rub on me, but I'm gonna pet you instead. Pet, pet, pet,
Oh,
pet. You're very soft and very warm. Oh, he just flopped over.
oh, happy kitty.
He just flopped over and his like stomach was showing, and I'm like,
Aw, that's so cute. Okay. Ooh, I've been going for almost an hour. I'll go
really?
for a bit longer, yeah.
It does not feel like an hour.
Ooh.
Hi, Sammy.
I got really small again because I had to adjust my position in my chair.
I'm gonna mute real quick. My brother is really loud.
Okay, no worries. Hello, chat. How's it going? I hope everyone is having fun and doing good. I'm not sure what you tried to send, Moose. Did you try and send a link? Oh. Going all right? I'm glad to hear that. Where did that land? I'm gonna go find that. Matcha.zip. Ah, yes. It doesn't like when you send even fake links. Oh, here it is. Yeah, sorry about that. It's going all right. I'm glad. I don't remember if I responded to that already. Sorry. Also, I think I need to go onto the dock to get that thing. Okay. That thing. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Oh, it's so little. Huh, what the fuck? Let's get this fish too while I'm at it. Close enough. Let's go. Also, my ad is starting in about 30 seconds. So go do a stretch, grab a snack. Yeah. we'll see you back here in a bit. Oh, it's raining over here. Oh wow.
Wow,
Wow.
we should be good now. That was immediate. Okay. Can't even blink without the rod being like, you have something on your line.
Yeah. Wow. True.
Wow. Aw.
Okay, I need to check something real quick.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh my god, he's so cute.
Okay. Hydrate. Oh shit, I gotta hydrate. Good luck in the ads, y'all.
Let's see. I'll just put it in.
¿Quieres?
Here, I guess.
Oh, I will hydrate. Thank you, Dana. I'll do a double hydrate since Moose suggested it as well. Okay, I'm back. Let me do a hydrate. Haven't had a lot of water today. Oopsie daisy.
Hydration.
All right, I have took a sippy sip. Thank you.
You know, I should actually use Mix It Up just water.
For like a water timer.
Or like someone can just like do like explanation with like a cooldown.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
I don't know why I'm so hesitant in using Mix It Up. Literally.
It's not that bad. Some of it can be confusing, but honestly, it makes my life a lot easier for streaming.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I just don't want to make my.
You don't want what, sorry?
Maybe I just don't want my life to be easier when I stream.
Fair. I caught an opulent diamond.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Diamond.
Ugh! Explosion. Dano exploded my diamond.
No. Well, guess what? It's explosion proof.
True.
You can't damage that diamond even if you've tried.
Screaming. I need to remake that emo. It's so old.
I don't even know what emote you're talking about. It's so old.
The one Dano just sent of the Matcha 73 scream.
I don't have your chat open.
Oh, that's okay.
Hold on.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good break. I hope you got up to get a snack and stretch and do all that fun stuff. I caught a diamond and Dano exploded it. That's what you missed.
Oh, that emote. Okay,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about now. I call it the shaky emote.
fair.
'Cause I didn't even know it was like you screaming.
Yeah, I need to redo a lot of my emotes. They're so old. We have returned from advertising purgatory. Welcome back.
Oh, come on, I have to log in again. It locked me out.
Oh no.
And I have like two-factor authorization or whatever it's called. And so I have to also do it on my phone.
Yeah, I know the struggle.
I forgot my phone was on. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Matcha.
Hi.
Hi. Let's see. That works.
Matcha 73 years.
Matcha 73 years. Rosie, thank you for the 17-month resub. Oh my god.
I literally was thinking that too. I was like, how is it 17 months?
That's so long. Thank you, friend. I
Mm.
appreciate it. 73 years. Yeah, today's my 73-year streaming anniversary. That's so funny. Yeah, thank you,
Imagine.
friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Imagine 73 years of streaming.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Eventually, VTubers are gonna be so old that they're gonna be like, I've streamed as a VTuber for 70 years.
Oh no. Oh, that's so long.
I know. Here's a good question for you. Um, if you were to stream, but VTubers weren't created yet, what medium would you be?
Um, I'd probably still be a streamer, I just wouldn't show my face.
So like, just voice then?
Yeah, just like voice in the game and like chat on screen. I don't know. I really like being a
Mm,
VTuber.
me too. I
Hell
like
yeah.
how it doesn't like I don't know. It has this like a safety thing in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Okay. I will be back. I completed another quest. Yippee!
Okay. Yay!
Yay, money.
Expenses. That's the wrong word. That's the opposite of money.
Yeah. Oh, I have money to buy
Um,
things.
unexpenses.
Woo, capitalism.
Yeah.
No. Alright, now my rod is maxed out to 125.
Yay!
I'm a pro gamer now.
How would you beat web fishing? Like, what would you say, like, it's completed?
Probably when you have everything in the game and every fish in every quality.
Mm.
I'm not sure though.
I mean, it would make sense. It's like Animal Crossing, kinda.
Yeah.
I need $5,000 to upgrade my power?
Oh no.
Okay. Walks away dejectedly.
Okay.
Okay.
Sad Rosie. Unlocking all upgrades and completing your collection would be a reasonable 100% mark. Yeah, that's what I think.
We doing that next. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do that
Oh
next.
yeah.
That would be grueling.
Tedious. Yeah.
Mm.
I might end in a bit here. I'm very sleepy.
That's okay.
I am the Eeper.
Yay.
I went to bed like so early last night.
Yeah.
And then I slept so good. And then in the morning, my wife's alarm went off, and I was like, it cannot be 10:30 already. I wanted to go back to sleep so bad. You sleep hanging upside down? Yeah, I sleep like this. Just hanging.
I'm not gonna talk about my own sleep schedule for the sake of everyone here.
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, I sleep upside down and then my wife shakes me awake violently. No, she doesn't. Unless. No. Unless.
Ice.
Ugh. Yeah, that checks out. I used to be a really heavy sleeper, but I'm not anymore.
Mm.
Visit Australia and you'll sleep right side up. Yeah, that's how that works. You're so right. Oob. Salmon.
Salmon.
Oh shit, one of my buddies just caught the golden bass.
What is it?
I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
It's one of the rare lake fish. This one, oh, it's very small.
Hold on, I'm fishing.
No
something
worries.
up. Give me 1 second. I wish you could pan the camera when you have the rod out. Oh, it's sparkly.
Yeah. There's
And
also a golden ray, I think, in the ocean.
So they're like the Stardew rare fish.
Yeah, basically. tiny. Yeah, just a little guy.
I like how I'm comparing everything to Stardew. I'm just like, it's Stardew.
That's all we know. Still bigger than Rosie.
True, probably. I have talked about this with like my chat before, but I was thinking of doing the one plankton meme where it's like, it's becoming increasingly obvious. I can deny it, no. I'm small.
I am small. Yeah.
Because I feel like that would fit. I'm so small.
Just a little
I'm like a
guy.
fly.
I'm like a fly. Alright, I'll catch like a couple more fish and then I think I'm gonna head out for the day.
Okay. There's some things I say sometimes that I'm just like, why did I say that?
Oh, mood.
Like, I am a fly. Or the other one, I forget the other one, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure.
Oh, wait. My yawn sound like an airplane or something?
Yeah. That was awesome. I just got that message out of nowhere. That was so funny.
And it was in the morning, too. When I woke up, I was like, my yawn sound like an airplane. I don't even think I was like even awake and aware for me to say that.
That's so funny.
I think I was half asleep.
Alright, I think this will be my last fish. I'll wait for you to catch one before I kick you out, though.
Okay.
No, I kick you out now.
I have a question.
I'm just kidding. What's up?
Can I sell my fish before you kick me out too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Let's sell fish together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sell all of these. Okay.
How come I have like 20 plus fish?
Very many of them.
Yep. You can't kick me out. I'm gonna kick my own self out.
Oh, that's okay. All right. I'm gonna move to the chatting scene just for a little bit.
Okay.
Let me mute the game. Okay.
Oh, the little cat cake. Oh, that's adorable.
Right? I love it. Okay, let me save the game and quit the game. Game saved. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by and thank you for the anniversary wishes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I had so much fun and thank you so much for joining me, Rosie and Iris. Thank you, Rosie. I appreciate it. I think I'm gonna head out of the voice channel if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course.
I hope the rest of your day is good. Bye!
Yeah, bye.
Alright. I have left the channel. And now let's, yeah, we're gonna look for someone to raid. Yeah, let's go to the ending scene. Sorry, I'm frazzled. I have not streamed in a minute, so every time I take like 2 weeks off streaming, I have to get used to streaming again. All right, let's see who is live. Several people are live. Excuse me. Oh, I never know who to raid. Raiding is so stressful. It's so stressful. Let's see what this channel's doing. Let's see. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone for stopping by. I'm glad I got the chance to celebrate with y'all. Yeah, thanks for making my stream anniversary a good one. I really appreciate it, and thank you just for being here for 4 years. For those who have been here since the beginning, and those who are fairly new, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being our cyberbat, of course. I love being a cyberbat for y'all on the internet. Old mood. All right, I'm just waiting for this ad to be over, and then I will send a raid. I remember the first Minecraft clip. Is it me killing the bunny? Oh, why am I getting more ads? Yeah, the very first thing I streamed was Minecraft. Yeah, oh my god, I remember that. Oh my god, more ads. Okay. Whatever, we're just gonna raid. Okay. Speaking of bunnies, we're gonna go say hi to a bunny channel and look at the bunnies, but they're alive and they're cute. I promise. Okay, here's the raid message. Copy and paste whichever one works for you. And we're gonna go say hi to some bunnies. Yay, bunnies! Yes, yes. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you guys for web fishing with me and chatting with me. And yeah, I had a great time. And here's to many more years of streaming. Yeah, I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a great day. I will hopefully see you later this week. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, take care everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Bye bye bye.